Have you ever thought about living in a community with a homeowners association in Corpus Christi? Well, HOAs can offer attractive amenities like pools, walking trails, and well-maintained common areas, which can make neighborhoods look great and feel more enjoyable to live in. But they also come with rules, fees, and sometimes unexpected challenges that might not be the right fit for everyone. So understanding the pros and the cons is key before deciding if an HOA community is right for you. And that's exactly what we're going to be covering in today's video. So whether you're returning to my channel or you're new here, welcome. I'm Lezli Milner. I'm a local real estate agent here in Corpus Christi, and I create weekly content about living here in the coastal bend. So if you have any questions about the HOA communities, whether it's about their rules, fees, or how they can impact your home search, don't hesitate to reach out to me. You'll find my contact information in the description below, and I'd be happy to help you out. And if this is your first time to the channel, consider hitting that subscribe button below, give this video a like, and tap that notification bell so that way you don't miss out on any of the weekly content that I put out about the area. First, I want to talk a little bit about what a homeowners association or an HOA is, just in case you're not familiar with the term. An HOA is an organization that helps manage and oversee a neighborhood or a community. And the main purpose of an HOA is to maintain the shared spaces, enforce the community rules, and ensure that the neighborhood stays looking its best. And in Corpus, many neighborhoods like London Town, Rancho Vista, Kings Crossing, and the Lakes have HOAs, and these HOAs often take care of those things like maintaining the parks, the common areas, and even offering amenities like pools or walking trails. So really understanding what an HOA is can help you decide if it's something you like to consider when choosing your next home. Now that you have more of an idea of what an HOA is, I want to talk about the pros and the cons of living in an HOA community here in Corpus. So let's talk about some of the benefits of living in an HOA community, because one of the biggest advantages is that the HOAs help maintain the overall look and feel of the neighborhood. So this means you're going to have nice looking yards, clean common areas, and a consistent aesthetic throughout the community. So for example, you have neighborhoods like Rancho Vista, the Lakes, and Kings Crossing that are known for their beautifully maintained entrances and their shared spaces, which are managed by their HOA. And many HOA communities also offer amenities that add to your quality of life there, right? Such as parks, you have pools, walking trails, and sometimes even gated access for that added privacy measure. And in Corpus, you have neighborhoods like Rancho Vista and Kings Crossing that provide features like scenic walking trails, playgrounds, and even private lake for the residents. And within Kings Crossing, the Domain HOA stands out as a gated community in the heart of this master plan neighborhood, just offering another additional layer of privacy and exclusivity for the residents there. And another key benefit is the way HOAs help protect the property values by enforcing the rules that ensure homes are kept in good condition within the neighborhood. So HOAs really create a neighborhood that appeals to current residents and the potential buyers alike. So this can be a big plus when it's time to sell your home. And lastly, HOAs often organize community events like holiday gatherings or cleanups or garage sales or anything like that, which really create a sense of community and give residents a chance to connect with their neighbors. And of course, living in an HOA isn't for everyone, and there are some potential downsides to consider. So that's something I really want to talk about now, is the challenges that come within living in HOA communities. So let's talk about some of the challenges that come with living in an HOA community, because one of the biggest drawbacks for many people are the fees and the dues. Now, these fees can vary depending on the neighborhood and the amenities that are offered within the community, and they can add up over time, so just keep in mind. But In Corpus, HOA fees can range widely, and they can be higher and usually are higher in communities that have more amenities. So as these fees go towards maintenance and upkeep, it's also important to know how the HOA payment is scheduled. So some HOAs charge monthly, some charge quarterly, and some charge annually. So this is something to definitely ask about when you're considering a home in an HOA community, especially to make sure that it fits within your budget. And another downside is the restrictions that come with living in an HOA. HOAs enforce rules to help maintain the neighborhood's appearance, but these rules can feel overly restrictive to some people. So, for example, you may have limits on paint colors and the type of fencing you can install, or where you can park your boat or an RV, and this can really be important in the coastal area like Corpus because owning a boat here is common. You'll also want to consider the potential for conflicts with the HOA boards, and just know not all HOA boards are created equal, and some residents find it really frustrating to deal with them at all. And whether it's feeling like decisions are being made unfairly or the communication is lacking, disagreements with the HOA board can just be a source of stress to you. And it's always a good idea to talk to current residents in the neighborhood to get a good sense of how the HOA is and how it's managed. And finally, there is possibility of fines for violations, and if you don't follow the HOA rules, you could face fines for things like not mowing your lawn on time or making unapproved changes to your home's exterior features. And these fines can add unexpected costs and just overall frustration to the homeowners, especially if the rules aren't clearly communicated. While HOA communities have their challenges, they also have some great benefits as well. While there are definitely some challenges to living in an HOA community, it's not all black and white, and whether or not an HOA community is the right fit for you, it does often come down to what's most important to you and your lifestyle. So to help you make the best decision, I want to talk about a few key things to consider before moving into an HOA community. So before you decide if an HOA community is right for you, here are a few things that you're gonna want to know. First, make sure you understand the HOA fees because HOA fees can cover a variety of things, so it's very important to know what you're paying for. Now, some of the HOA fees might include services like maintaining the common areas, doing the community pool upkeep, or even repairs to the shared amenities like playgrounds, or even updating the walking trails. So it's also worth reviewing the HOA's budget, right, to see how the funds are being allocated and if they're in a good financial standing. Next, it's good to take time to review the rules. Every HOA has a set of governing docs, often called conveyance conditions and restrictions, and these outlines the rules and the guidelines that homeowners must follow. And it is a good idea to read these very carefully so that way you understand things like what's allowed in terms of exterior modifications like fencing, parking rules, etc. And finally, I recommend attending an HOA meeting or speaking with current residents. This can really give you some insight on how the community is ran and what it's really like to live there. And if meetings aren't accessible, then I recommend chatting with a few of the neighbors that can help you understand if the HOA is proactive and well managed or if there are some common complaints.